Hey, Deep Thinky here. Today I'm going to be covering the subjects of mysteries. Now I know mysteries have been around ever since human culture began, ever since Ugg the caveman clubbed his woman over the head and dragged her back to the cave for a bit of jiggity jig. But every now and again a mystery will come along that is just so complex it would even make Sherlock Holmes sit there and say, "Hang on, Gov, what the bloody hell's going on here?" I'm talking about a modern mystery, one that has taken the internet by storm. And I'm sure you all know which one that is. You ever heard the case of Elisa Lam? It's become a YouTube sensation all over the world. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian student that studied in the medical field, and she disappeared at the Cecil Hotel or didn't disappear but was murdered under very mysterious circumstances. And this happened while the young Chinese-Canadian girl was travelling across the USA just on a bit of a holiday and a bit of a break. She was last seen, Elisa Lam was last seen on the 31st of January and was reported by her parents missing on the 1st of February. Now, her body was discovered in the Cecil Hotel by a maintenance worker who was acting on complaints about a foul smell, dirty water, blood-coloured water, and just general suspicions of the hotel at the time. What makes this so gruesome is Elisa Lam's body was found in the water tank on the hotel roof 19 days after she was reported missing. And her body was decomposing in the water tower. So the hotel residents that were staying at the hotel at the time was actually drinking it. And that's one of the gross aspects of this case. This mystery is spooky enough on its own, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you how much of an imagination it's gripped people with how spooky it is. But then what makes it more spooky is it has a strange connection to a children's cartoon. Now, I know you probably all watched this as a kid, and that connection and the cartoon is Inspector Gadget, the bumbling detective that we all knew and loved as a kid. So I know the Cecil Hotel is famous, and it has a bit of a history with renting out rooms to criminals, and it's a favourite place for conspiracy theorists. So you go there, look at the conspiracies by having a good old jolly chat with Dave, the drunken axe murderer who's just rented out the room just across the hallway from you. So the history is what makes this case interesting of the Cecil Hotel, that has a lot of paranormal activity and also been a long list rented out to criminals and murderers and everything like that. There seems to be many things that seem to have predicted this murder or suicide, I want to believe. And one movie was a movie called Dark Water, and people swear by it that it has predicted the death of Elisa Lam pretty much perfectly. So I've never personally seen this movie. I'm actually looking forward to, but I have friends that have seen it and they say it really does predict the death of Elisa Lam. But there is one other thing that has predicted it more accurately than this movie Dark Water. And that was a book that was created in about November 2012, and it called Inspector Gadget. And this book was called The Unsolved Case of Chloe Peaches. It's never published. There was 4 physical copies of this book printed and bookbinded together. And the story goes into, of course, everyone's bumbling detective, Inspector Gadget, that can never really do anything right. And in this story, Inspector Gadget is up against the forces of MAD that we all grew up watching as a kid. But then this story turns out to be a more grown up, darker version of Inspector Gadget. And there are 2 new enemies brought in. One is the Priory of Zion, and the other one is called the Shadow. Now, this book was never meant to be taken too seriously, but in the story, Gadget travels the world to rescue 5 young girls that become the target of an organisation called the Shadow. And the object is they plan to kill these girls, drain their blood, and create a super virus that will wipe out everyone on Earth except the elites. And this plan is called Jade Helm 21. So in the story, one of the places that Gadget travels to is actually China. And one of the young ladies on his list to rescue from the MAD and the Shadow is a young girl by the name of Elisa Lam. And in the story, he does eventually rescue all the girls and saves them. But on page 100, but at the end of the story, there is a bit of a plot twist. It turns out that Gadget rescued the wrong girl, and the Shadow and MAD was also targeting the wrong girl as well. So in the end, Gadget saves all the girls, and then they think everyone's safe. But then they discover that it's not the Elisa Lam that everyone was after. So they suddenly realise that the real Elisa Lam is out there. And now, in this book, page 154 has become the most read book, because on this page it literally dictates what happened in real life as we know it. And the chapter where Elisa Lam gets killed in the book, pretty much identical to the elevator footage, is called Chapter 13, An Evil Turn of Events. So in the story, Elisa Lam and these other girls were looked at as experiments. And if all 5 of them survived, then basically MAD could drain their blood, create a super virus along with the Priory of Zion, and sort of create a super virus to sort of wipe out the entire world. But then, see, the thing is, if only one girl in the story was killed, then the bad guys would not be able to create that super virus. And as the story ends and Gadget learns that he rescued the wrong Elisa Lam and the right Elisa Lam is still out there somewhere, unfortunately in the story, the blue-eyed demon catches up with the real Elisa Lam and kills her at the Cecil Hotel, and coincidentally, in an odd way, saves the world which the blue-eyed demon was trying to do, and that was his job right from the very start. And then this blue-eyed demon has the power of hypnotic. He can hypnotize people. And then he charms Elisa Lam and puts her in a deep hypnotic spell. And under the spell, when Elisa Lam becomes confused and dazed, she doesn't know where she is, she goes into the hallway to try and escape this demon who has put her in a trance. Now, in her mind, the demon has lulled her to sleep, and sort of Elisa Lam in the story becomes so confused that she knows someone is there in front of her, but at the same time she can't see anybody. And this is where she tries to establish if someone is standing there in front of her or not. Now, some people have suggested that black magic surrounds this book and witchcraft, and that the demon has somehow come to life, and some sort of black magic has been used to make the book that predicted this happen in real life. Do I believe that's happened? No, I don't. I don't think that's possible. But at the end of the day, when you figure that this page 154 on this book and page 155 predicted the Elisa Lam identical murder, it literally dictated it. Can anyone explain this? That is the question. So, what do you think about this? Do you think that the people that have read this book have spoken some truths? Do you think it's random? Or do you think this Blue Eyes has manifested into real life, come and killed this young lady? Or do you just think it's a whole load of shit? Regardless what you think about it, it's strange because of the accuracy of page 154. The accuracy of this page is incredible. So the more this character named Blue Eyes is a bit like Freddy Krueger. The more you think about him, the more real he seems. People that have read the book said I've had nightmares, this guy follows me around, I see him out of the corner of my eye. Do you think it's manifested and taken on a whole scary role itself? It doesn't matter what you or I believe, but the fact that this book was written 4 months before her death and it predicted accurately, her death could have been avoided if people knew that. I have personally read Elisa Lam's writings on Tumblr, and I think this world has been deprived of a beautiful mind, and this video is not meant to disrespect her, but it's meant to just bring to attention of the strange prediction that this Spector Gadget book has made, that I'm sure was never intended to do that. So just let me know what you think in the comments. I'm looking forward to reading them. If you take the time. If you like this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, and I hope to see more videos made in the future. Alright, bye.